What's going on, my cornstarch crusaders? This is your old neighborhood fun uncle Richard Kilpatrick here, and today's theme of the episode is get your chips out because it's time to buy the dip. Yum, yum, yum. Remember, the guac is extra. If that sounds good to you guys, then stay tuned for the rest of this episode. Yes, that's right. It is dip buying season. Chow down, guys. We got 7-layer dips galore. Let's hop right into the charts. This is a place I like to go to see the sentiment of cryptocurrencies. And if you look generally, the heartbeat of Ethereum and Bitcoin, it's basically saying buy, generally speaking. Well, you know, the averages are what they are. Again, I make these in real time here, so I'm doing this with you live, and it looks like undecided. I wish we could remove Bitfinex and Fimex from the list. These guys are just reckless with no plans of changing. But the one sentiment that always is pretty accurate is the fear and greed index. I want to remind everyone, a drum I constantly beat: when other people are fearful, you should be greedy, and when people are greedy, you should be fearful. And right now, the current sentiment is general fear. And what that says to me is maybe it's time to start daily cost averaging and buying the dip. Hello, that is the theme of the episode. Yum, yum, yum. I'm chowing down on some dip. You better believe it. And then a third source I like to check out is Google Trends. What's the general trends looking like? What are people Googling, and how frequently are they Googling? And it looks like we are shifting downwards in recent days on the overall interest via Google about Ethereum, Bitcoin, and cryptocurrencies as a general topic. You can see Bitcoin's red, cryptocurrencies is blue, and Ethereum is our yellow line here. And so what that says to me, generally speaking, is that sentiment is starting to shift away from cryptocurrencies. I think people might be a little bit more skittish about the general state of affairs, the economy right now. And so people might be sitting on the sidelines, not ready to buy this dip because they fear it might dip even further. And that's why I have this funny little meme here I got off Reddit that really sums it up on the other side of it. You know, for enthusiasts like me, we like to say, hey, buy the dip, get in there, get your chips out, we're buying this dip, yum, yum, yum. And then there are other people who are like, hey, but I keep buying the dip and it keeps falling, Fun Uncle Rich. It keeps falling. And so this is me trying to have a little bit of a level-headed perspective on things. You know, yes, it could keep going down, but at the same time, these are great prices. If you look at Bitcoin on the long-term scale of things, you'll realize that even though it might go down a little bit in the future, wait. Just wait. It's going to go back up. New all-time highs are on the horizon, I think, by the end of the year at the very least. And let me go to the charts right away to show you a little bit about what I'm thinking. If you look here at Mama and Papa, Bitcoin, and Ethereum, you'll see this wick right here on the 4-hour time frame. And what I've seen, again, I might be wrong about these things. I like to think maybe on my best day, I'm 50% right and I'm 50% wrong about these things. But from my experience, I've noticed that these wicks here are the bottom. That is where sentiment is heading. Now, I know that some retail investors probably looked at these two wicks and they thought to themselves, whoa, that might actually be the dip. This is the dip. That's the double bottom right there. Moon boots engaged, buy, buy, buy. But this is just a false dip. I'm sorry, everybody. That's a false double bottom. We need to fill in this wick right here and right here. I will show you what I'm talking about. If we go in the daily time frame, look at this wick here. This bottom wick here that went down to about 29.9. There were then two false double bottoms. And the same thing happened where retail investors thought that we had confirmed a double bottom here. These two wicks were the double bottom. And then there was a higher high, a higher local high established after this quote unquote double bottom. But in reality, we needed candlesticks to fill out this bottom. It doesn't matter what kind of arbitrary number happens above that. This is the actual bottom. And then history played out. We had candlesticks 1, 2, 3 times actually fill in this true bottom here. And then once we had confirmed a double bottom, that was our true resistance, moon boots engaged, and we had a 50% rally upwards ever since then. And so this is my basic fact. These are my facts. that are supporting my current hypothesis about where the price action is going to go. I'm a generally bullish person. Overall, I think that cryptocurrencies is the future. It's not going away. New all-time highs are on the horizon. However, the realist in the back of my mind reminds me that this is how it plays out. The truth is hiding in plain sight, and we need to wait for confirmation of a double bottom based on this wick right here. And it all comes back to self-fulfilling prophecies. Have you ever heard of that? Self-fulfilling prophecies are when human beings believe something will happen. And whenever they believe something will happen, especially when they tie their emotions to it, 9 times out of 10, that comes true. Whatever that self-fulfilling prophecy may be, if human beings believe in it and they tie their emotions to it, 9 times out of 10, that comes true. And this is a Funnel fact. This isn't professor time, this isn't doctor time, this is Funnel time, and that's a Funnel fact, that 9 times out of 10, self-fulfilling prophecies come true. And so with cryptocurrencies, especially since people have their net worth tied into it, aka their emotions, the self-fulfilling prophecy about Bitcoin is that one day it'll hit $100,000 per coin, and Ethereum will one day hit $10,000 per coin. And because so many people believe that will happen, it will happen. It's just a matter of time, honestly. Self-fulfilling prophecies, humans, emotions, it's a tale as old as time. And so that's a sentiment I want to remind all my nieces and nephews, that we are going to go up. Moon boots engaged. This is just more FUD trying to manipulate the paper hands out of their coin. And the next topic I have to that point is El Salvador. Recently, El Salvador started using Bitcoin as legal tender in their country. Now, what happened is, as soon as they went live, quote unquote, live with Bitcoin as legal tender, we saw a market dip. And then we saw all of these articles come out saying that the reason the market dipped was because of El Salvador. Now, I want you to remember the sentiment that's being said there. The reason the price dipped is because of El Salvador. And your old neighborhood funnel, Richard Kilpatrick here, wants to remind you that that's all horsey poopy time. Stinky old dingleberry souffle is what I say, and this is nothing but manipulation and FUD by the shape-shifting lizard elites that control the economy and the stock market and all the wars we've ever been in. And what's actually happening here is they are trying to train us, a la Pavlov's dogs, to believe that every time a country institutes Bitcoin as legal tender, the market will drop. Now, if you look into the numbers on this, El Salvador only bought 400 Bitcoin, which equated to about $21 million. This is a one-time purchase of 400 Bitcoin, and these shape-shifting lizard elites want us to believe that this tiny, tiny little purchase of 400 Bitcoin was the reason the entire market crashed. I smell some stinky dingleberries coming around, because that is not even close to true. I want to show you the charts to illustrate my point here. This is Binance. Now, this is just one exchange. And not only is this just one exchange, this is just one pairing. This isn't all of Bitcoin's pairings. This is just Bitcoin versus USDT. And if we look at just this one pairing on just this one exchange on the 15-minute time frame, you will see that the smallest wicks here are 400 Bitcoin. This one's about 900, that's about 700. This big one here, that's 1,400 Bitcoin were traded during a 15-minute time frame on Binance, and then some. And so the point I'm trying to illustrate here is that 400 Bitcoin is not a lot of Bitcoin. It's a very small amount of Bitcoin. And even once they had distributed it out to all their citizens, it ended up being equivalent of $30 per person in Bitcoin given to each one of these individuals. And they want us to believe that this tiny, insignificant purchase of Bitcoin was the reason that this trillion-dollar market machine collapsed. Nuh-uh. There's no way. That's not true. Not even close to true. It just can't be. It's too small. It's a very insignificant drop in the hat compared to the whole cryptocurrency market. And what I see happening is the shape-shifting lizard elites want us to be trained to believe, not just retail investors, but also other government institutions. They want us all to believe that every time you institute Bitcoin as legal tender, the market will collapse. That's what they want to teach us. They're training us like dogs to believe that. And I want to, you know, hello, put some smelling salts underneath your nose. Don't let those manipulators let you believe that. That's not the truth. No, we're close to the truth. We have so much more growth potential ahead of us. There's so many institutional buyers. There are so many diamond hands just like me, just like you, who are holding on and daily cost averaging all the way to the top. So don't let this FUD scare you. There are many other countries like Honduras and Guatemala who are going to follow El Salvador's suit here. And I, without any doubt in my mind, I know that the shape-shifting lizard elites will dump the price of Bitcoin the day this happens. But I want to remind you, that's all FUD. They're just trying to scare you. Buy the dip. Keep holding. There is nothing but growth ahead for us, and that's the theme of the episode basically, is buy the dip, y'all. These are great prices, long-term, short-term. This is an advantageous time to buy, and I would encourage all of you, not financial advice, to put a position in. Maybe a little bit lower than it currently is. We maybe 5% lower than it currently is. Look at these wicks as a price level for you all. The clues are right there for you. You know, don't put a buy order in right at 3,000. Make it like 3,100, you know, 3,050. Don't go right on this number, because you want to confirm that your buy order will go through in a full extent. Because if you put it right at 3,000, you might only have a small portion of your buy order go through. You want the whole thing to go through. That's why you put it a couple percent above, and then as these wicks go, it'll quickly dip down to that level, and you will be immediately in profit. Have some money on the sidelines for another dip, and stay frosty, my friends. Question everything. Do not let the FUD, the news articles, and the shape-shifting lizards tell you what to do and what to think, because Bitcoin is the future. Undeniably so, Bitcoin is the future, no question in my mind, and I am here as your fun uncle to encourage this kind of free thinking and thought. At the end of the day, that's all I got for you right now, you know? Those damn lizards, right? That's all I got for you. That's the whole ball of wax. If you're not already a member of Lad City, please type that into your browser. Type in ladz.city into your browser. It'll take you to all the sugar sweet goodness. It'll take you to the YouTube, the Twitter, and most importantly, the Discord. That's full of a plethora of like-minded cryptocurrency enthusiasts just like yourself. You are going to have access to all kinds of alpha information. There's Lads token drops. There's prize giveaways. There are NFTs galore being dropped in the chat, and we can't wait to have you join us in the Discord. If you could do me a kindness and demolish that like button down below, let me know what you think about this video in the comments, and I will keep generating this golden god goose goodness for you every single week. I'm your neighborhood fun uncle Richard Kilpatrick. Thank you so much for stopping by. Auf Wiedersehen.